on the computer. Okay. So what we are going to do, let's see, I am going to mute everybody. Sorry, guys. If you have questions, please let us know. Please unmute yourself and ask. You can also type questions in the chat bar as well, and I will try to answer those as best I can. Okay, so what we're going to do today is we are going to talk about backwards goal setting. And so the idea here is figuring out where you want to be in the future and then working your way backwards so that you can make sure to achieve that. The very first thing I want you to write down is your must-hit goal for April. This is like non-negotiable. In April, you are doing this. It needs to be measurable. I want a number on it. So maybe it's a rank up. Maybe you're hitting X rank. Maybe you're finishing the month with X amount of points. Maybe you're adding X amount of people to your team. Maybe you're adding X amount of customers. But everybody, this is a non-negotiable goal. You are hitting it. You're writing it down. End of story. It's happening. Take 2 minutes and write down your must-hit goal. Make sure it is measurable. So we know no matter what, we want to celebrate you. So we have to know if you hit it or not. And guys, don't tell my husband that I'm doing a team call instead of watching the Michigan game tonight, okay? Whatever you do, this is not happening right now. And hopefully Michigan wins this game. Okay. If you don't know what I'm talking about, it's basketball. The national championship is on tonight in the middle of our team call. You got it, Deb. You can help that blue Sarah. Sarah, I'm drinking wine, okay? I'm trying to make it a little blue for you. Okay, the next thing we're going to write down is the scary goal. The one that's hard to write down. The one that you're like, I really want to do it, but I don't want to fail at it. But it would be really awesome if I hit it. Like the scary goal. Write it down. Don't be afraid. Scary goals are hard for me. Again, make sure it's measurable. Just for April. Just working on April right now. Sorry. Thanks, Jennifer. Okay, then when we're done with the team call, I really, really, really want you to share these. Share these with your upline. Share these maybe with someone in your house or someone maybe even non-Plexus that can help like check in with you and be your cheerleader. So share those with somebody. This is something you should do every single month without fail. The must-hit goal and then the big scary goal. Every single month that needs to happen. It will keep you on track and it will let you know how you're doing in your Plexus business, where you're at, maybe some areas that you need to work on. Thanks, Darian, for being accountable. Okay, now what we're going to do is we're going to write down goals. These are going to be more long-term. So I'm going to give you 5 different dates that I want you to have a goal for. I'm going to type them in the chat section as well. So I want a goal for April 30th by the end of the month. Some of you may have already come up with that when you did your must-hit goal. These should be rank goals. So what rank do you want to be by the end of the month? What rank do you want to be by convention, which is May 31st? For those of you going to convention, I know for me, it's always like, oh, I want to be in that next group because I want to be able to go to those events. So April 30th, May 31st, July 31st, December 31st, and March 31st. So a year from now. Okay, I'm typing these in. Some of you may have just started and you maybe don't even have any concept as to how long it's going to take you to get to these goals. That's okay, because you'll reevaluate these on a regular basis. But let's put down, silver is having 3 people. Gold is 100 points. Sarah, your faces are killing me. Senior gold is 250 points. Ruby is 500. Senior ruby is 750, and emerald is 1500. And those numbers, as you get higher, sound crazy. Crazy. So write all those down. We are going to focus tonight, especially on July 31st. So at the very least, get a rank in the July 31st date. Okay, and some of you may be asking, like, why did I choose July 31st? July 31st is the date that you have to achieve the emerald rank if you want to go on the Hawaii trip, or the diamond rank if you want to go on the extra Hawaii trip. So we always try to use July 31st as a marker in our Plexus goal setting. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to take that July 31st goal. That is the one we're going to backwards goal set for tonight. So July 31st, whatever rank that you want to hit by July 31st, you need to know that point value. Okay, so I'm going to type those out. Sorry, I should have done this while you guys were. Okay, so I typed those in there. So whatever point value you want to hit by July 31st. Okay, I'm going to use an example. If I want to be Ruby by July 31st because I want to earn the Ruby Retreat. The Ruby Retreat is being planned right now. It's going to take place in August. It's with Carissa and McKenna and then all of their downline. Anybody that hits Ruby by July 31st gets a little Ruby Retreat. And I shouldn't say little. It's fun. You get spoiled and pampered, and I got to do it last year, and you will want to be there. So let's say you picked Ruby. That's 500 points. What I need to do is I would need to take whatever number that I'm trying to, whatever rank I'm trying to get to, take that number and subtract the amount of points that you currently have. So if I'm trying to get to Ruby and I already have 250 points, like in March I hit 250 points, then I'm going to take 500 minus 250. Okay, write down that number. The number that you're trying to get to by July 31st minus the number that you just hit in March. And write that number down. Am I making sense? I get some head nods. Making sense. Okay. Math is my thing. So I hope I'm not talking like too fast. Okay, so it's 250. I'm using my example. So I want to hit 500. I've already got 250. That means I need 250 more. We basically have 3 months to gain whatever points it is that you're looking for. Okay, we have April, May, and June. because really you need all these people in your organization by June to hit the rank in July. Okay, we still together? Some of you that are new, I know this may be a little outside, but we've got to get them in our organization by June. So you have 3 months. So take whatever number you wrote down and divide that by 3. Take your number, divide it by 3. Okay, so basically I need 84 points a month. 84 points a month if I want to hit Ruby by July 31st. In order to get 84 points, we know that each person in your levels 1 through 3 are worth roughly 5 points. Or they are worth 5 points. Once you get down into lower levels, they're only worth 4 and 3 and 2. So if you're still building your first and second levels, you can take that number and divide it by 5. If you have deeper levels, you may want to only divide that number by 4. So we took our number, we divided it by 3 months. My number is 84. Now I'm going to take that and I'm going to divide it by 5 points because that's how much each person is worth. And so if I have 84 divided by the 5, that means I need to add roughly 17 people per month. 17 ambassadors per month. Does anybody, like, there's no stupid questions here. Does anybody have questions? Am I making sense? Okay, so on average, we need 17 people in a month. If I need 17 people, I know that I'm pretty confident I cannot add 17 people in a month. If I wanted to add 17 people in a month, I'd probably need to be doing an event every other day. Oh yes, Jennifer, I'm dividing it by 5 because that's how much each person is worth. And like, this sounds so, like, people are worth way more than 5 points. We love people. I like feel like I'm taking everybody down to a number. People are worth, like, let's not just make them a number, but for this purpose, they are worth 5 points each, okay? So I need 17 people. So know how many people you need to add each month. In theory, your first month is probably going to be a little slower, and your last month you should have more momentum. So if I need 17 people in a month or 84 people total, I may say, like, I'm going to do 15 or 10 my first month and divide it out and then go a little bit higher the next month and a little bit higher the next month, because it's probably a little more achievable that way than to try to evenly get 17, 17, 17. You also have to account for a little bit of attrition. We know that when people sign up, they don't all stay with this. So you may even want to add an extra 10 to 20 people onto that number, depending where you're at in your journey. Some of you may only need to add 5. You know, if you're going for gold, you don't have as many people falling off because you don't have as many people jumping into the organization at one time. But you may want to build yourself a little buffer there. The other buffer that you have is in July, you could add people and they could get customers and they could be worth points in their joining month. So there's a couple different ways to buffer this system. But now what I do, once I have the number that I need to add each month, I look at my team and I get on the phone and I'm chatting with my leaders and I'm saying, how many people are you looking to add? I never go to them and say, Michelle, I need you to add 20 people this month because I have this crazy goal and I want to achieve it so bad, and so I need you. I talk to Michelle about, what are your goals, Michelle? How many people are you looking to add to your organization? She tells me 5. I say, great. Now that's 5 less people that I need out of my 17. And then I go to my next person, and my next person, and my next person, and I'm talking to them about their goals and working through this with them. The big, huge thing with this is developing silvers. Guys, if I need to add 17 people, if I can find 5 people to all go silver, that's 15 right there. If I can find 2 people to go silver and a couple other people to go silver again or to add to, these numbers are much more achievable when you have other people developing teams. And the best way to do that is developing silvers. If you have not gone through the rank up roadmaps in your back office, watch those videos, guys. I just watched one for going from Ruby to senior Ruby, and she said basically I need 12 silvers. Well, when you've been doing this for 2.5 years, like 12 silvers is not really that scary. I know if you just joined in the last 6 months, 12 silvers may be a little scary. But 12 silvers is not that scary. So for those of you just starting, if you have the goal to ever one day be a senior Ruby, start working on who your 12 silvers are right now. Okay, every month I have an assistant. I'm doing a call right now. You have to wait. If you want to stand here, you can stand here, but you have to be quiet. Thank you. Does everybody kind of understand what I just did there? I brought some blue for you, Sarah. So basically, you're looking at your big goal, and then you're breaking it down into smaller chunks. So those of you that set the March 31st goal, start breaking that down now. Don't say, I want to be emerald in, March 31st, and then just keep working aimlessly and not knowing how you're going to get there. Set that path now. Reevaluate that path every month, every other month. You may have to change your goal. You may have to increase your goal, lower your goal, reevaluate how you're doing.
Are you having issues?
Oh. Did someone have a question, or are we just, okay. Are we good? Okay. I think we're good. But make sure that you're setting those goals and working backwards. That is the best way to do it. Work backwards. Set your big goal and then break it down into each month. Some of you may be looking at your goal and going, okay, that's too easy. Like, I can add 2 people every month. That's too easy. Or some of you may be looking at it and going, okay, that's a lot of people I need to get into my organization in 3 months. How am I going to do that? Who's going to join my team? Who's going to be working this business with me? How am I going to do that? The other thing, if you have these big goals, don't close that. If you have big goals, the easiest way to get people into your organization in a short amount of time is through events. Okay, there's several different ways to do events. You can do in-person sip and sees. You can do Zoom sip and sees. We plan to offer more events as a team. As long as we keep participation up and they seem worth it, we'll keep those going. Don't miss out on those opportunities. I posted a save the date on there. We're doing this week, Ryan Evans, Megan Goff, and Megan Edwards. They're all speaking, guys. These are huge testimonies. Relatable people that are just normal, average, everyday. I think they're all from the South, that have grown their businesses in huge ways. If you have dream teamers, don't wait. Message them now. They may say no. It's okay. I think Tamara Holloway just got someone after 3 years of working the business, got someone that she's messaged probably 10, 20, 30 times in 3 years, and they finally said yes. So don't be scared of those no's. But you got to get people to these events. Build them up, make them seem exciting. Don't wait till 2 days before the event starts and say, oh yeah, the 7-day trial group starts tomorrow. I'm not sure how I'm going to get you pink drink, but you should really get 7 sticks of pink drink and hope that it comes in time and join this group. Start planning for it now. Okay, we have a 7-day trial group coming up. We have an online Facebook event coming up, and then we have this testimony thing on Thursday. There may be more things that are going to pop up. If you can always do your own events, always. We have the template for the online event. If you just want to do one for your smaller team, we can always do that too. So many opportunities. Don't miss the events. That's the best way to add people. Unless you plan on being on the phone and visiting people daily, get them to the events. It's a time saver. Let's see. I think that was like the majority of my stuff. Questions. Does it make sense? Yes. If you're not doing these coaching calls, I'll call myself out. I got lax with my team and just assumed that everybody was setting these goals by themselves. I wasn't setting them by myself, so why would anybody else be doing it? If you are not doing coaching calls, I highly, highly, highly recommend doing them. If that means reaching out to your upline and saying, hey, I need a coaching call, do it. Lorelei asked Carissa for coaching calls. Okay, some uplines coaching calls are not their strengths. That's okay. You can always find someone else that has that strength. Right now, Lorelei needs her time, so if anybody needs a coaching call, I'm happy to do them. Okay, so feel free to reach out to me. We'll figure out our schedules. We try to keep them to around 30 minutes, an hour max. But let us know what time you have available, and we can work through those. And coaching calls don't have to be done at the beginning of the month. I think there's like this weird thing that they have to be done at the beginning of the month. They don't have to. You can always do them mid-month. Just make sure you're always making your goals every month or setting your goals. Any questions, guys? I didn't lose you, did I? Are we excited about goals? What does the sip and see on Zoom look like? Okay, so Jennifer, Elizabeth and I did these a lot. Elizabeth had a girl that went Fast Start Gold, and she lived in Indiana. So we did not have the time to go to Indiana every other day and do a sip and see. So we would send people samples, and then we would get on Zoom. It was a 30-minute Zoom, and we would send everybody the Zoom link. We would get on, I would tell my testimony, Elizabeth would tell hers, and then we would share about the Fab Four and ask questions. It was pretty cut and dry, pretty simple, more of like a time to connect, but we would send them the sample so they could try the pink drink either on the Zoom with us or before the Zoom. So they had a sample of it, and then we would basically just talk to them, and then we typically did an offer that if they signed up like with that night, then they would get a certain discount, and we just kind of kept moving through it like that. So that can be a good way. Like Jennifer, you're all the way in Florida. I mean, I would love to go to Florida every other day and help you with that, but practically, like, that's just not going to happen. So we can always set up Zoom sip and sees and do them that way. I'd love to come down, Jennifer. Yes, I agree, Elizabeth. So there are time restraints that people have. Even if it's only 3 people on a Zoom, 2 people on a Zoom, that's 2 more people that you can talk to. We have an interpretive dance behind me with streamers for the blues. See, Sarah's dancing with you. Jennifer is in the Orlando area. And with events, guys, the big thing is that third-party validation. That's why the 7-day challenge trial group is so successful in the online events, because you have so many testimonies coming at once, so people are not just hearing it from one person. And so if you do a Zoom sip and see, you want at least 2 testimonies on there, so they're hearing from 2 different people. Any other questions? I encourage you guys to do this every single month, especially the must-hit goal and the scary goal, and then share it with somebody. You have to share it because we have to celebrate it when you hit it, and we have to encourage you along because you'll have days when you're gung-ho and you'll have days where you want to quit. And you need your accountability people to help you on those days when you want to quit. Okay, if there's no other questions, I'm going to go ahead and end the recording.